everyone. This is my project regarding ways to remember the different liver pathologies. I like to associate images in my brain that kind of help me reference and remember the different pathologies. So for this project, I did a little liver talent show, with the first one being the liver cell adenoma, which is a magician. And typically, as we all know, magicians do kind of like very scary things that are not really scary actually. So that reminds me that it's a benign tumor, and the little pink bow reminds me that it's most common in women and linked to oral contraceptive use. And as we all know, magicians typically have stuff hiding behind a curtain. So that reminds me that they frequently contain areas of bile stasis and focal hemorrhage or necrosis. And lesions typically appear hyperechoic with central hypoechoic areas. Secondly, I chose to do the focal nodular hyperplasia. This is a ballerina, and I kind of think of ballerinas as like super dainty and like girly, and not scary. So that reminds me that it is asymptomatic. It's a benign liver mass, and it's found in women less than 40. And I imagine her entering from like stage right, which would be that the lesions like occur typically on the right lobe. And I imagine like her with like dancing with like under a spotlight. So that reminds me that the area is a well-defined lesion with the hyperechoic internal texture. And lastly, I did the hepatocellular carcinoma, which is like a rock star guy, and that reminds me that it occurs more frequently in men, and it's malignant since like rock stars are typically pretty hardcore, as well as they're kind of like, I imagine them on stage and they kind of do unpredictable things, which is why it can present as different things such as solitary mass, multiple nodules, or diffuse mass infiltration. And I typically think of them wearing like very dark clothing, so that's why that reminds me that they appear as a hypoechoic lesion in the right lobe.